Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
We are here at the Cox Business Center in downtown Tulsa for the 70th Annual National Congress of American Indians Expo and Convention. Jason Salzman along with Kyla McGowan with your #1 source for Native American television news. It's Native News Today. We've been here all week. It's been so fun. As you can see, a lot of people around, tribal nations from around the country. And you actually specifically have been here covering it nonstop for the paper, and it's been quite an experience, I bet.
It really has. It's great to see all the booths from different tribes, different organizations that are really in support of NCAI. The marketplace here is full of cultural things, different programs, and just a lot of really neat art that you can see.
I know, and what's so cool too is, as you said, people and their cultures from so many different tribes that we learn a little bit from each of them. We know, we ask them, what tribe are you from? They'll say where it is, and we're like, where's that at? In California. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So it's an opportunity to be educated and really educate others about all the great tribal nations out there in the country and what a treat it is to have been here. There's so much stuff going on, whether it's tribal politics, culture preservation, sacred lands. There's a little bit of everything here for people at NCAI, and they're electing today, the election day of a new president. Actually, our own chief, George Tiger from the Creek Nation, is up for that. So might be some big news coming out of the Creek Nation later today. So with all of that being said, though, we've got a job to do. Native News Today has to have those great stories out for you this week, and we have just that. Kyla, the groundbreaking of Margaritaville was this week. How big is that?
That was great. It was a great turnout, and it's expected to be definitely something for Tulsa that's never really been brought here before, I don't think. So we're excited to be a part.
It's great to be a part of it. Muscogee Creek Nation doing big things on the river. That, plus a look back at the Hall of Fame Gala. We'll take a look at some comments from Dustin Brown regarding his final thoughts on the baby Veronica case. All that and much more. So it's coming your way. We're going to take our first break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Native News Today.
Our goal at the College of the Muscogee Nation is to provide a culturally based education that will lead to meaningful careers.
The goal of the Muscogee Creek Nation Department of Education is to build a strong workforce, and we are proud to host the first annual Education and Career Exposition.
9 colleges and universities will be in attendance to provide information along with several other career and employment opportunities.
So please join us on November the 7th from 1:30 to 4 p.m. in the Beggs Dome in Beggs, Oklahoma.
Pumakasam gadat, ibufanga, nage, adigat, punhayadit omega, ajayididet omis.
Diosnok, that's true. Throughout the generations, our elders have taught us to preserve, share, and more importantly, protect the abundant natural resources we have here in Oklahoma. We are the original environmentalists and protector of these resources. The Muscogee Creek Nation believes tribal and state governments must work together to ensure future generations will have clean air and clean water as the ultimate legacy. What is good for Oklahoma tribal nations is good for all Oklahomans. Remember, tribes are truly the original Oklahomans.
And welcome back to the Cox Business Center here at NCAI Native News Today. Moving right along, and our first story up is a look back at the Hall of Fame Gala for the Muscogee Creek Nation. What a big event at the River Spirit Event Center there in downtown Tulsa.
It really was. It was the second event of its kind, but it is planned to be part of MCN for the rest of time.
You got it.
It was a great way to just recognize some of the tribal members and just just recognize them for what they've done.
They've done some great things, and I think it's really neat that they've grandfathered in the Living Legends ceremony. So all those folks that were part of the Living Legends and that recognition are now part of the Muscogee Hall of Fame. You know, it's a black tie event, so many people out, and some great recognition. And what we did was basically got a few comments from folks out there, and we want to show you actually the 3 inductees, and actually made some video pieces for each of them. Miko George Thompson, Dr. Phyllis Fife, and Jack Jacobs. So the Muscogee Hall of Fame, what a great event.
It's exciting to be here at the Muscogee Hall of Fame. Obviously honor the inductees that deserve to be recognized, and for people to understand our history as Muscogee people and see who our people are in current day as well. And of course, raising funds for the scholarship is a tremendous support for our Muscogee youth and the leaders of our nation as well. And then to see our Muscogee Festival is exciting, that we are Muscogee people and that we celebrate who we are each and every year. So we hope to see this program go and grow and continue to do great things for the Muscogee Nation and future Muscogee people to come.
Dr. Phyllis Fife was born and raised on her family's allotment in the Okfuskee district in the Graham community, one of 8 children born to James and Carmen Fife. The importance of family, home, and education was instilled in her at a young age. She attended boarding school at the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe before earning degrees from the University of Oklahoma, Northeastern State University, and her Doctor of Education degree from the University of Arkansas. Dr. Fife has contributed over 25 years of professional experience in teaching and administration at the university level. She has served as the director of the Center for Tribal Studies at Northeastern State University since 2003. Dr. Fife is also a professional artist specializing in painting and graphic arts. Her work has been featured in national and international exhibitions and publications on American Indian art and women artists. The most important role, according to Fife, has been that she is a mother to her 3 daughters. The Muscogee Hall of Fame proudly welcomes Dr. Phyllis Fife.
Muscogee Hall of Fame, it just says a lot about who we are as a people. We had 3 new inductees, Jack Jacobs, of course Dr. Phyllis Fife, and Miko George Thompson. All come from diverse background, very humble beginnings, and it just accumulated with them being inducted. It was just a great evening.
Miko George Thompson Jr. is a resident of Henrietta, Oklahoma. He attended Haskell Indian Nations University, the University of Tulsa, and Oklahoma State University. He is a veteran of the United States Air Force and served 28 years with the City of Tulsa Engineering Services. He also served 4 years as a member of the Muscogee Creek Nation Housing Authority Board. Thompson was raised with a strong emphasis in the Muscogee culture. He is a fluent Muscogee speaker, and for the past 40 years, he has served as Miko of Hickory Ground Ceremonial. Recently, Miko Thompson was nominated, confirmed, and is now serving a 6-year term on the Muscogee Creek Nation Supreme Court. He was also awarded the Muscogee Creek Nation Principal Chief's Medal of Honor for his leadership role in the efforts to preserve Muscogee ancestral burial ground. The Muscogee Hall of Fame proudly welcomes Miko George Thompson.
It's something that I never expected or looked for. I just the way I carried on with my traditions and culture, and like I say, it wasn't something that I was looked for, but I guess the tribe had faith in me, and some of the appointments that I now have with the tribe. I appreciate that. To be recognized along with the past inductees and some of the present ones it means something to me.
Born in Holdenville, full-blooded Creek citizen Jack Jacobs attended high school in Muscogee, where he became a standout athlete. This led to his arrival at the University of Oklahoma, where he was a star quarterback for the Sooners, compiling many records that still stand today. He was drafted into the National Football League, where he played for 3 different teams before eventually settling into the Canadian Pro Football League. It was in the CFL that Jacobs enjoyed his greatest success with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Jacobs won an MVP title and led his team to the Grey Cup Finals on 3 occasions. In all, he played 22 years of football without missing a game. He was enshrined into the inaugural CFL Hall of Fame and was a coach and scout for the Bombers until his death in 1974. The Muscogee Hall of Fame proudly welcomes Jack Jacobs.
And we're back here at NCAI, rolling right along with the program. And speaking of NCAI, our next feature is going to highlight NCAI because in 1944, a group of tribal leaders, tribal people came together and knew that a unified front was the way to get things done in Washington and in the national scene. And that's what it's really become. And now here we are this week back in Indian country. And it's so neat to see that unity.
I think it is really great, and especially to have it right here in Tulsa. It brings not only the tribes around Oklahoma, but also just all over the country. They'll be electing their 21st president.
Right.
So they've got a lot going on.
Big news. And like she said, the 21st president is going to be somebody that the tribal leaders get together and say, this is who we want to lead us, and this is our consensus opinion on that. And I think that's great. That's just another show of the unity, the cohesiveness, and I think we can be a very strong force. So the 70th National Congress of American Indians Expo and Convention right here in our backyard, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
We're really honored and just humbled to a great degree that we and the Osages and Cherokee Nation can collaborate on having such a fine organization have their national conference, as you say, in our own backyard. It's been if the opening is any indication of this week, it's going to be a great week.
Well, that's what the nature of NCAI is, that we deal with the most critical issues that are affecting Indian country, and tribal leaders come together to develop consensus policy and debate those issues. So whoever's hot, up and coming, we talk about it here at this particular conference. And so we have like 59 something resolutions at this particular point that tribes will be debating and dealing with. And it can be on any issue, whether it be on education or on financial capacity, on tax proposals, nation-to-nation trade, tribes bringing land into trust, a variety of issues. I actually think that the more we educate the public, something that they don't learn in school, they learn about, you know, the Pilgrims landing and the Indians meeting them, but they didn't learn that we're thriving governments that still have a relationship, that those treaties that were signed actually still are there, whether they've been lived up to or not, but they're still there. And the principles of the relationship, of the trust relationship hasn't gone away. And I think what's happened for us is, as we get stronger as tribal nations, as we exercise our native vote, then all of a sudden the politicians are starting to listen to us, and we're getting better about having a unified voice and have a collective visual presence in those forums.
I've seen a big change in NCAI, but it started some years ago. My first involvement with NCAI started in 1995. I was the governor of my pueblo at Okeo-Wingate, New Mexico. But I've seen it grow. I've seen NCAI grow. I've seen the issues that we've addressed have come to fruition. A lot of solutions that we provided for our Indian people, not just tribal, not just members of NCAI, but Indian country throughout. And I think that you know, the leadership is so important that we can't stand back and watch things happen. We can't be reactive. We got to address the issues head on, and we've got to be prepared to do that. And I think NCAI has come a long way in ensuring that happens, and our communications and our partnerships with our people, with national other Indian entities, as well as Congress and the President. With Congress the way it is right now and the federal government the way it is, all the more important that we need to be on target, but we also cannot be on-the-job training, if you will. We've got to know what the issues are. We've got to know the process. We've got to have the networks, and so important. So,
well, NCAI is probably the world's greatest intertribal organization in the world. There is nothing, I believe, that compares to the infrastructure and the organization that has been created since 1944 during its inception, and this is basically what our elders were looking forward to when they created this great organization, that tribes could travel around the nation, and we're blessed to be able to come to the homeland of the Oklahoma tribes here and be in their homeland, and to be able to have another conference here in the nation. And so, you know, NCAI is second to none as far as organization, infrastructure, and getting the message out to Indian country, the message of healthcare, the message of taxation, the message of land issues, and you know, dealing with the federal government. So it's just great to be in Oklahoma and great to be a part of NCAI.
All right, we've moved into the expo area here, and a lot of great things in this area too. A lot of people walking around finding out about some great tribes, some great native-owned businesses. So it's really cool to be in this room now. It's going to be really cool to be in the big room at Margaritaville in a couple years when that happens, right along the river, Gala. And we were there to see them actually turn some dirt, turn some sand over for the groundbreaking. Margaritaville, it's so exciting.
It really is. It had a lot of turnout. There was, of course, Principal Chief George Tiger, the Tulsa Mayor, Dewey Bartlett. Everyone was out to support the event.
And it's really neat because Mayor Bartlett actually said, he actually got the crowd kind of laughing, and some people actually applauding when he said, you know, with the $335 million investment, there will be water in that river. So some big things going on with the city of Tulsa and the Muscogee Creek Nation working together to make things happen. A big, big week, a big, big day for the Muscogee Creek Nation there. A huge investment in Margaritaville in just 2 years coming to the city of Tulsa. Historic day in Tulsa as Muscogee Creek Nation officials join with city leaders to break ground on the tribe's $335 million expansion project at River Spirit Casino. Margaritaville is coming to the banks of the Arkansas River, and it all starts with the groundbreaking.
If there's such a thing as a monumental day, as you said, back in March and April just this past year, we had the announcement, and to actually see dirt being you know, shoveled, that's a tremendous announcement that we are starting. We're actually starting the building of this thing.
The expansion is something that's been in the works for some time. According to Creek Nation Casino CEO Pat Crofts, it wasn't about choosing the first opportunity, but waiting for the right one.
We've been talking for a long time about an expansion since we opened phase one, a hotel and an expansion. And what we really wanted to do something that would really be over the top and grow the market. I mean, you could build a bigger box and add a few hotel rooms, but we didn't want to do that. And so we went out and started looking for brand names and branding. And one of the names we came across is Margaritaville. And they're one of the hottest brands in the country right now. This will be about their 5th or 6th casino. They have 50 or 60 other, you know, venues around the country and around the world. But this really helps put it over the top. I mean, the hotel edition, the spa, swimming pool, convention center, they're all going to be great. And we have people calling every day. Since we opened phase one, we have people call every day trying to make hotel room reservations. It's amazing what we might be able to do if we actually had a hotel and we were able to market it.
Crofts also talked about the additional development being a game changer for the current facility.
We do very well in competing against everybody else in the area now. We just didn't have some of the tools like a bigger showroom and a hotel. We'll have that now, and we're going to, without doubt, be the #1 in the market.
For Margaritaville officials, it's an exciting time to expand their brand in Tulsa with a great partner.
We're just really excited. We believe this is a destination. It will be an experience. You know, fun, palm trees, sand, hopefully more water. So that's what we do. We provide full experiences, and we're really excited about it.
The Creek Nation feels a strong tie to the communities it shares. The tribe is well aware of the impact the investment will have on the area.
This is going to spur development in this area like nobody's ever seen here along the river in South Tulsa. And it is a very major investment on behalf, you know, on being made by the nation. And I think it's going to have very great returns for the nation and all of its citizens.
I think Mayor Bartlett just said it correctly when he made the statement, you know, next time that we gather, it's going to have a ribbon cutting to a brand new facility, and it's not too far down the road, and I think it's something to be excited about.
All right, and Kyla, our next piece is, an issue that a lot of people out there in the nation, around here, certainly in Oklahoma tribes, have become well versed on, and that's the baby Veronica case. And, it certainly didn't turn out the way that Dustin Brown, the Cherokee Nation, and a lot of tribes everywhere wanted it to. Baby Veronica is now back in South Carolina with the adoptive parents. But I think, with anything, we can look at this and see there are some positives that we can take out of it.
I think so, and I think if anything, it's just shed the light on the country, and that Native American children should be considered in their well-being, and they should stay within the tribe if at all possible. Just whatever is best for them, really.
I think so too. It's really put a new light on it. It's really made people aware of it. And we wanted to show you Dustin Brown's comments in their entirety. It's a brave thing he did, releasing a statement. He's in a lot of pain right now. And we feel for Dustin. We stand behind him, as well as the Cherokee Nation and all tribes everywhere, to see a resolution of this someday.
Thank you all for coming today. It's been 2.5 weeks since our daughter Veronica left with Matt and Melanie Capianca for South Carolina. It's difficult to put into words how empty our home feels, especially without her. To come home from work, not having her be able to greet me, come to the door and grab me up, no matter how dirty I am or not. Going into her room and seeing all of her toys without her playing with them is the worst pain I have ever felt. Me and my wife, Veronica's grandparents, her sister, cousins, aunts, uncles, extended family, and friends that are heartbroken without her. But I know we did everything in our power to keep Veronica home with her family. During this 4-year fight to raise my daughter, I had to make many difficult decisions no father should ever have to make. The most difficult decision of all was to let Veronica go with Matt and Melanie Capianca last month. But it was no longer fair for Veronica to be in the middle of a battle. It was the love for my daughter that kept me going all this time. But it was also the love for my daughter that finally gave me the strength to accept things that are beyond my control. The time has come for me to let Veronica live a normal childhood that was so desperately needed and deserves. And that means stopping the ongoing litigations here in Oklahoma. Veronica is only 4 years old, but her entire life has been lived in front of the media and the entire world. I cannot bear for the continue it any longer. I love her too much to continue to have her in the spotlight. It is not fair for her to be in front of the media at all times. And her safety, happiness, and well-being have always been my #1 priority. I want to thank everyone that has supported me in this fight to keep my daughter home with me and her family. We never dreamed so many people from around the world would support us in the effort to raise our daughter. We appreciate each and every one of you more than you know. Every card, letter, and email has been precious, and we cannot thank you enough. I know that the Capiancas love Veronica very much and will provide her with a good home. It is my greatest hope we can work together on a solution that is best for Veronica. One that allows me to continue to be a part of my daughter's life and see and speak with her on a regular basis. And to Veronica, one day you will read about this time in your life. Never ever for 1 second, never ever for 1 second doubt how much I love you. How hard I fought for you, or how much you mean to me. My home will always be your home, and always welcome in it. I miss you more than words can express. You'll always be my little girl, my princess, and I will always love you until the day I die. I love you and hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Hey, you never know who you're going to run into at NCAI. It's a great event, and we have the Twist Man, Mr. Chubby Checker, here with us. Thanks for being with us, first of all, and just talk about the experience this week being here.
I'm just having a real good time. It's an experience for me being in Tulsa with the Indian people, and I guess I got here about 3 years ago. I got interested in something with the tribes, and we kind of stayed friendly along all this time, and I had an idea that brought me here to the convention center, and I got a booth, and I'm offering some things to possibly help improve the situation inside the tribal community, raising funds for them so they can take care of some of the problems that they're having in the inner community. And this is why we're here. And actually, I'm having a real good time meeting a lot of great people, and I'm in the middle of the elections.
Scary. Heady stuff. Right?
Oh, I was in the arena, and I went, I think I'm going to just leave right now. He says, why are you doing that? I said, it's a little tension. I think I'll just go back to my booth.
Well, he's having a great time, and we're certainly glad that you're here.
Having a good time. And I want you folks to know, go to iTunes and pick up an album called The Texas Twist. The last cut on the album is called Take Me Back to Oklahoma.
Oh.
I mean, I love you so much. I wrote a song about you. So I want you to know, it's called The Texas Twist. The last cut is called Take Me Back to Oklahoma. And that's how much I love you.
Hey, we love you too, Chubby. Thanks, man.
No, one more thing I got to sell.
Real quick.
And one more thing, there's a song on the charts. It's on the adult contemporary charts. It's called Changes by Chubby Checker. I'm on the charts.
Uh-oh. One more time.
So I want you to download it, and thanks for the money. I love you.
All right, man. Thank you for all you're doing for Indian country.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here this week. All right, Chubby Checker here at NCAI. Like I said, a lot of great people here. He's doing great things. Recently visited the Muscogee Creek Nation. So I want to thank him. I want to thank everybody this week that's made this a great event. We've had a lot of fun here, and I know that you're ready to just get back to a regular work week, right?
No. I love it here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun. A lot of things going on. Hey, check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Check us out on our live stream. Have a great time with that, and we'll see you guys next week. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll be seeing you soon from here at the 70th NCAI Convention.